Hello, welcome to the Soulprint mini readings. There's going to be two readings released today for July 5th. I'm doing Florida and Texas, the states. I don't plan on going state by state by state, but it feels like those two states may have some interesting changes coming a little bit down the road. So I want to take a quick peek at those. So this one's Florida. The one that's going to be released in just a little bit is Texas. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. Thank you so very, very much for being here. I truly appreciate the support, the lovely comments, etc. So grateful for it. And to my very incredibly generous donors, I thank you ever so much. It's always a very humbling feeling when somebody appreciates what you do and thanks you in sort of such a tangible way. So I'm very humbled and grateful for the donations. So thank you very much for those. All right, let's get cracking here. Florida. So the legislation, I guess it is, that DeSantis and his all Republican group of cronies passed recently with regards to election bylaws and changing things around with voter they were just messing with the ability for people to vote. Okay, let's just simplify it. Well, and that was also the same thing that he put through that prevented or that allowed him to continue to be governor and yet run for president, which apparently is not something that's done. But anyways, a court blocked it. They put a stay in, and so they've, I guess, suspended it for right now. It can't go forward. And this is a common thing that you're seeing in other states. These judges are saying, no, enough with the gerrymandering, enough with the trying to destroy people's ability to vote. And I mean, the sad thing about it is, and this pertains to Texas too, is that they realize that they're so going against what people want that truly the only way they can win an election is if they prevent people from voting or flat out find another way to make sure things go in their favor. So here we go. Tell me about Florida. Tell me about Florida. Tell me about Florida. So we know that there's, of course, that really staunch Trump base in Florida, but I somehow don't know that they're as strong as they used to be. Let's see. Okay. All is not lost, Florida. So we're starting off with the 10 of Wands. So this is not about a politician per se. This is about the people and the burden that they have been carrying. DeSantis seems to be doing things that are going to be very harmful to the economy, inflation, etc. And so you have this kind of almost like exhaustion by a huge majority of people in Florida. Yes, there are, your neighbors or your cousin Joe or whoever it is who have gone full on, MAGA. I don't deny that. But for most people, it feels as if even the whole Trump thing is just starting to be a burden. It's not only are people struggling in Florida, you've got the nonsense going on about gay rights. You've got the even crazier nonsense going on about banning books. It's becoming a little too heavy. But don't give up because you've got brighter days ahead. Okay? What happened basically is that you had somebody come into power who had no actual vision. And what happened was he simply sort of tied himself to a agenda, the right wing agenda. And he thought, I guess, that the more aggressive he was about, canceling woke, the better it would play across the nation. And it is not playing better. He continues to lose points in polls. He's not going over well. He's not going over well in Florida, and he's really not going over well in terms of the country. So what you have there is somebody who is only focused on what I want right now and what I'm going to do to get it. And he really didn't care who he stepped on, who he hurt, who he threw out of an employment. He didn't care, because like that. But where he's at right now is that he's really finding that he's getting a lot of pushback. That pushback is going to extend to the next governor's race. Hopefully, the Democrats are going to be able to find somebody to run who can dance the dance and who can tango back, because the last Democratic, I can't even remember his name, Charlie Crist, maybe. I mean, he didn't have, I don't know, he didn't have like credentials, right? I mean, he used to be Republican. It's like, I don't know, but the reality is the kind of pushback that they're getting, that is going to continue to evolve and grow, is going to have some really unfortunate, I guess, if you're Republican and if you're DeSantis, results. What you're going to discover going forward, this feels more like into 24 into 25, okay? There's going to be a balancing. There's going to be, I don't know that I want to call it a softening, but there's just going to be, it's like the entire state just gets to a place where they're like, dang, we're tired. Enough. They want things to slow down. They want things to calm down. They don't want to hear, the nonsense that Trump spews. They've had it. And so, this time next year, going forward, that's where you're going to really, really start to see a shift and a change. What Florida wants, or Floridians want, is to get back to being that welcoming, opened place in the sun. They want the tourist dollars. They want people to not think of Florida as some regressed, like 1955 state, okay? And that's part of going to be a big thing about what helps to bring in this temperance, this balance. There's going to be messages received, and there's going to be money put into the places that it needs to get put. So it feels very much like DeSantis may very, very well have a run for his money. And what has happened is whatever political capital he did have in Florida, he is starting to lose even that, because he is being received so poorly everywhere else. Because frankly, this guy is just so far out of his league. He's a bully who doesn't have a personality. So that's what you get. There's going to be money coming in. There's going to be a lot of work put into finding the people on all levels of government who can start this transition into this more temperate place. It's not so much that they want to go back in time, but it's more a feeling of they want to regain some of the reputation they had as that welcome, opening, open state. Had lots of sun. Mickey Mouse was there. It was good. That's what's been lost. And it feels like just a little ways down the road, it's going to be reclaimed. The final card for this is the World. Okay, so take comfort. Where you're at now is coming to a close, and something new and improved and hopefully of a much higher energy vibration is making its way in. So that's what I know about Florida. It looks like things are going to improve there. Thank you so much for being here. Keep your eye out for Texas. It's coming up in a bit. Bye-bye.